I just came back from the campus classes, very busy. They're really working us before the Christmas break, which is good. It's fine. Keeps me busy. I like being busy. I don't like having nothing to do. I get depressed. But anyway, I was looking through some of my comments on my last video, and a few people were a bit confused about why I call Justin Trudeau a long-haired Macdaddy. And that's just the name I've given him, you know? He's known far and wide, thanks to the Iranian nation, as the long-haired Macdaddy. So every time people in Canada hear the word Macdaddy or Pimpmeister, they think of Justin Trudeau, thanks to the Iranian nation. That's just the name that has stuck with him. But I'll give you the definition, the Urban Dictionary of the word Macdaddy. Now, Macdaddy, or Macdaddy, M-A-C-K daddy, but it's Macdaddy, M-A-C, space D-A-D-D-Y, is a term used to describe a man with an unusual power over women, and is derived from the French and later Louisiana Creole patois term maqueur, which means pimp. Adding daddy makes it mean top pimp. So it's basically a head pimp. And y'all know what a pimp is. You know, pimping women, pimping this, you know, an unusual power of women. So Justin the Long-haired Macdaddy, and this is a name I gave him shortly after he won in 2015. Because if you all remember, back in 2015, nobody thought he would win. He was too stupid. He was too uneducated. He was an idiot. Everybody thought it was either going to be an NDP minority or a conservative minority, and the Liberals would have just been like in third place. That's what everybody thought. And then out of nowhere, this long-haired Macdaddy comes out of nowhere. This dumbass, this crybaby comes out of nowhere and just wins. I mean, where the hell did this idiot come from? Where the hell did he come from? And I was watching the reaction. Canadians were just, I mean, it was shameful. You see people slobbering. It's like, Justin Trudeau, he's going to legalize pot. He's going to take care of the Muslims, and everything's going to be okay. And it's so nice that we got rid of this mean Stephen Harper with this robot Stephen Harper and this mean old angry Thomas Mulcair. We got the long-haired Macdaddy in here. Hallelujah. Praise Jesus. Praise the Lord. And boom, shakalaka. That's how Canadians were. They were just so pathetic. And I was watching it. Young people just twerking their ass over this guy. And I'm thinking to myself, man, Canadians, it was actually scary. It was like Charles Manson or George Jones. It's like this guy could tell Canadians to go jump off a bridge and they'd probably do it. He could go and tell them, look, we're all going into the woods and sacrificing ourselves, and that'll finally get rid of Harper. And all Canadians would go in the woods and start cutting their wrists. That's just how it was. It was bad back then. For all you Americans, it would be similar to, it was worse than when Obama got elected, because the thing with Obama, it was only black people who were all jumping up and down over Obama. White people really didn't care about Obama. In fact, white people didn't vote for Obama. White people voted for McCain, who I don't like anymore. McCain is a jack. I'm glad he lost, but that's another story. But white people voted for McCain, and white people also voted for Mitt Romney, another person who I don't like, but that's whatever. White people never voted. But the way, for Americans to understand what I'm talking about, the way you saw black people getting all drooly over Obama, that was how Canadians were. But the thing is that you can understand why black people were, because, you know, as bad as he is, the first black, even I have to admit, I wasn't jumping up and down no, I don't do that with anybody, not even Trump. But like, I felt a little bit of even though he's a zebra, a white-black zebra, and he's more white than black, Barack Obama. He was raised by a white grandmother, white grandfather. He never saw his father. But, okay, fine. Okay, good. Black guy, let's move on. But, I mean, people getting all upset, all happy over Trudeau for what? Because he's going to legalize pot? You fools. So I actually heard of a black pastor, I think in New York City or Chicago or somewhere, who used to call Barack Obama a long-legged Macdaddy. And I looked it up, and I said to myself, it's the same thing with Trudeau on steroids. He's a Macdaddy, and Canadians are the whores. Canadians are the ones being pimped. It's like you see a prostitute on the street being pimped by a Macdaddy. That's Canadian. They're just that's how it was. That's how I saw it. It's like y'all are a bunch of whores. You prostitutes. You whores. That's it. And the long-haired Macdaddy is continuing to mac Canadians like macaroni and cheese. He's just stirring y'all up. I mean, not as much anymore. I have to admit, he's down in the polls now. But still, with this whole, and he's not done a thing good. I will admit when a Liberal has done good or an NDP has done good. John Chrétien did good. Paul Martin, he did good as a finance minister. I'll say that. Pierre Trudeau even did some good. Mackenzie King did some good. Louis Saint Laurent did some good. Even Kathleen Cowperthwaite Wynne has done some good. McKinsey, all of them. I'll admit it. Trudeau has not done anything good for this country. Let's start with the beginning. Pussing out of the fight against ISIS. Canada is not fighting ISIS anymore. They have pussied out of the coalition against ISIS. The coalition fight against ISIS, France, America, and all these other countries, and UK. Canada's not a part of it. Trudeau said if we kill our enemies, they win. Giving billions of our tax dollars to other countries for stupid reasons. Meanwhile, we have Native Americans living with poisonous water. To this day, not a penny been given to fix the problem. He cut the benefits for veterans and people with diabetes and mental health. I've made videos on that. And gives billions of dollars to Indonesia to help them fix their infrastructure. Billions of dollars to Middle Eastern and African nations to help them with their food crisis. And you got natives in Canada who are living with pot-bellied, walking barefoot like they're in Nigeria or something. And he says, I'm sorry for all the stuff that Canada did. He's not sorry. He's just putting on a show. And that's another thing. I'll get to the crying in a minute, but he's made the country less safe. Recently his government allowed knives to be brought on planes, on domestic and most international flights. He's not doing anything to stop the illegal immigrants who are coming into this country from America. We're not vetting them. We don't know where they are or where they come from, their ideology. We're not vetting them, and he's not doing anything to stop it. List of 18 terrorists that were provided by the RCMP and published by CBC. The Canadian government has done nothing to try and look for them or anything, and we're not fighting ISIS. It's almost like he's begging for ISIS to come and kill us. And now this whole thing with this crying business. He started a new thing. Every time he apologizes, he starts crying. He cries. He even cried yesterday apologizing to the gays for what happened to gays way back when his father was in power. Now, I'm not attacking him for crying. People think, I'm attacking Trudeau for crying. I'm not attacking her for crying. In the Gospel of John, chapter 11, verse 35, Jesus wept. So I'm not attacking a man for crying because Jesus wept. I cried, but not like Justin cries. But the thing is that the long-haired Macdaddy is using his crying as a weapon. He's using it to mac Canadians, especially the women. And the women Canadians are easily macked. The men are one thing, but I'm sorry, you ladies out there, man, you are easily... What is wrong with you ladies? Come on! He apologizes for the gays. He cries. He apologized for the natives. He cries. That rock star a few months ago died. He cries. He cried on the radio a few months ago. This guy just cries and cries and every month he's crying. Every month he's crying. And I don't think it's genuine. I don't. He was a drama teacher before he became prime minister. He was a drama teacher, for crying out loud. He is not genuine. If it was once, and it was something that really meant something to him, okay, that's fine. Like, if I were a prime minister and I apologized on behalf of Canadians for slavery or something, I would maybe cry. Maybe I'd cry because but every single time, just cry. He's not doing it because he's an emotional guy, you fools. He's doing it because he's trying to mack you. Because he knows that the conservatives and the populists like me will get him on it, and then people say, oh, they're being so mean to the long-haired Macdaddy. They're being so mean to him, and he'll get the chick vote or something like that. He's macking you. That's why I call him the long-haired Macdaddy, the emissary of the devil himself. And if he really cared about gay people, he would get his ass back into the fight against ISIS. Canada would be fighting ISIS to destroy those people because they're a group that kicks gays off of buildings. He allows ISIS people to come back to Canada to try and rehabilitate them. Meanwhile, they joined a group that kills gay people, that hates gay, crucifies them, and throws them off buildings. He don't care about gays. If he cared about natives, he would fix the problem with their poisonous water instead of giving all that money to other countries. He don't care about natives, and the crying is fake. This is the Arana Nation.